What it do, what it do, what it do. We going live this morning. We're going to talk about our own people being mistreated. This is great grandson of We Rebuilding We.
This is Channel of We Rebuilding We, another production by Roadblock Pod ML GGCTV.
Continuing our coverage of the Maui massacre, which is now being referred to as worse than Pearl Harbor. We'll look into that, of course. President Joe Biden, who lived a story about FEMA's full blackout on ways. We're going to include footage that you will not find on mainstream media, so don't skip any of today's video. Let's go. Why, 2 weeks after the fire, are there still no updates on the children? We are going to be here asking about them every single day until we get solid answers. Greg Gutfield went off about the Maui fire cover-up and the missing children, and he made some very interesting points.
This, to me, is like the quietest tragedy ever. Isn't it strange how quiet everything is? And in this case, no news is probably bad news. You don't hear from families of tourists because maybe it's not tourists that are still dead. You know, silence from the locals because maybe they're gone. And then the officials don't say anything because this is possibly worse than anybody imagines. You're not going to see anybody. And it's kind of scary who these people might be, right? They might not be adults. And I think that this is a really horrible tragedy.
Cernovich tweeted, 400 students from the burn area have enrolled in other public schools. 200 signed.
Before I go further, I just want to let you know, man, these are our people being mistreated. You heard? Word up. Let's go.
Signed up for distance learning. Out of 3,000 students, 600 are accounted for enrolled in school. How many children died in Maui? Hundreds? Thousands? No one will say. Joe Biden is now on his way back to his Lake Tahoe vacation home after a quick flyover in Maui. Surely he addressed the missing children issue, right? Wrong. 67 Corvette was trending all over Twitter after hearing Joe Biden talk about losing his home and then telling the story of when lightning struck his house in 2004, saying he almost lost his 67 Corvette and his cat. Thousands missing and dead. One of the world's most scenic beach towns is now a toxic ruin. And Joe Biden can relate to it all with a story about his car and a cat.
I don't want to compare difficulties, but we have a little sense.
Before I get into this, you already know our president is bugged out. All right? He's bugged out. And what I mean by that is, you see what's going on here, right? Now, I want y'all to listen to the lie that this president say, okay? It's crazy, but we're going to proceed.
It's like to lose a home. Years ago, now 15 years ago, I was in Washington doing Meet the Press. It was a sunny Sunday. And lightning struck at home on a little lake. It's outside of our home, not a lake, a big pond. Wire and came to our home. Almost lost my wife, my 67 Corvette, and my cat.
Okay, Biden never lost his home from a lightning strike. He had a small kitchen fire that was contained in less than 20 minutes. And the fact that he went to Hawaii with almost 1,000 people missing, over 100 dead, and no one has a home anymore, and said, I lost my home too, a lie, when there was a small kitchen fire, that was pretty disgraceful.
Americans are not reacting well to this.
It is almost impossible to believe that this guy, that this old man, this Walmart greeter, and I know that we have a constitutional crisis of epic proportion, but hearing you talk about your house that, you know, had a little fire, you almost lost your cat and your Corvette.
He almost lost his cat and his Corvette. Who cares about that story, Mr. President? Who cares about that, man? We have lives that's been lost. due to this fire. All right? And I'm going to repeat this again. These are our own people being mistreated. Let's go.
There are children that were incinerated to ash, you vile human being. The only way you feel you're able to communicate and you have some kind of, you're so out of touch with the common man, you don't even understand how to speak. That the same thing happened to you, no matter what the tragedy is. Your house didn't burn down. Your children weren't burned to death. How dare you get up there and speak this way? Your job is to go there and assuage them in a way that you talk to them about their loss, that you can't imagine what it's like, that you can't imagine what it's like never to find the bodies of the poor children that were sent home from schools that died alone. Alone. In fear, without their parents or a guardian, that the most abhorrent thing happened. This is.
And like I'm going to say again, there's missing children, okay? And parents that are missing, you know what I mean? Now, you're going to get into more details on what's really going on, all right? And it's so sad, even with FEMA not supporting these people. FEMA not even supporting them. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to continue, man, so you can see what it is, man. It's sad.
This is an outrage. An outrage. When you hear the psychopath, the first thing out of the governor's mouth was, we're going to reclaim the land for this or for that. Who the fuck are the people we hire in government? And if there's any truth to the matter that this idiot held back the water, it's just outrageous how we behave in this country. There's no adults. An event, no matter how tragic, there should be men that are able to rise to the occasion. In 5 seconds, you should know what to do. You should understand the right thing.
Look, I don't care if the president is Republican or Democrat. He forgets the name of Maui, he doesn't respond for weeks, and then has the audacity to make it all about himself. It's not about you, Joe. Then to really just say IDGAF, he actually falls asleep during the ceremony honoring the Maui fire victims in Hawaii.
We are a community that relies on family, on ohana, whether by blood or by friendship. But like many others,
he actually falls asleep ceremony honoring the Maui fire victims in Hawaii.
we are a community that relies on family, on ohana, whether by blood or by.
Yo, look at this, man. This is so ridiculous. This is ridiculous, man. This is ridiculous. Lives have been lost. And look at our president sleeping. Sleeping, my people. You see this dude right here? He's sleeping. Does it show that this president really cared? That's bugged out, man. We got the wrong people right now in office, man. We got the wrong people right now in office, man. Lives were lost, man. But I'm going to continue, man, so you can see this. This is ridiculous.
Friendship. But like many others,
You guys catch the boots out here?
Greg Price said, to recap, Joe Biden was on vacation when the Hawaii wildfires happened. His first words on hundreds of dead Americans were no comment. He then went on a second vacation to a liberal billionaire's mansion while calling for more aid to Ukraine. He then finally traveled to Maui 2 weeks after the fire, joked about how hot the ground was, mispronounced the names of every Hawaii elected official, told a complete lie about how his house once almost burned down, joked about how he knows.
This guy is out of control. This president we have here, man, he is not in his right mind. He is not in his right mind. I know people feel stupid for voting for this guy. You understand what I'm saying? Complete lie about his house, once almost burned down, joked about how he knows what they are feeling because he almost lost his life. He lost his Corvette. He fell asleep while meeting with Maui residents. And now he's going back on vacation. So after he meet these people, he's going back on vacation instead of rounding everybody up, and getting to their job. What's going on? Why there was no water? What happened to the electricity? What happened to the sirens? You understand what I'm saying? This is ridiculous, man, but I'm gonna proceed, man.
What they are feeling because he almost lost his Corvette, fell asleep while meeting with Maui residents, and is now going back on vacation.
During COVID, we got government assistance, so at least we were able to sustain ourselves financially, even though we weren't at work. With this regime in-house, we are absolutely getting no help, nothing. Not $1 is coming to them, to us. So the only way we are able to survive are through visitors and tourism dollars. There's not one tourist on this entire beach, you guys, not one. All of them locals. And the reason all the locals are out here are because all of us are unemployed, because we won't get any help from the government. Not $1 is coming to us. How are we going to sustain ourselves through this next 6 to 8, 9, 10 months without not $1 coming through here? It's impossible, you guys. We can't sustain this without government help. And since we're not getting any government assistance or any government help, this is insane.
Senator Brian Schatz of Hawaii says recovery in Maui is going to take many years and multi-billions of dollars.
This is not a short-term thing. This is not a 2 to 3 week emergency. Getting school, getting connectivity back, getting the roads back, and then removing the debris and doing whatever the community wants next with all of that. That to make sure the government is there for us.
Hawaii Governor Josh states, I ran for governor because Hawaii needs elected leaders we can trust to tell us the truth, keep us safe and informed, to care about working families, and to be transparent and accountable to the people. Let me ask all of you watching this right now. Do you feel Josh Green is telling the truth? Is he keeping Hawaiians safe and informed? Is he being transparent and accountable to the people? This guy was more than 5,000 miles away in Massachusetts while the fire devastated the island of Maui. A recent New York Times article said this will be the biggest crisis.
Do y'all see that, man? Do you see this? This will be the biggest crisis Hawaii has had to face since Pearl Harbor. Colin D. Moore, a political scientist at the University of Hawaii, he said that. This is crazy, man. This is something we all talking about right now. Because like I said again, these are our people, man.
The article is focused on one man at the helm of it all, Hawaii Governor Josh Green. The headline reads, for Hawaii's governor, a balancing act with no margin for error. Skimming through, it says, others fear that the devastation will gut the economy, drive up already sky-high housing prices, and supercharge a middle-class exodus of priced-out teachers, firefighters, nurses, and other essential workers. The fear is that this will become a land grab by wealthy investors from outside of Hawaii. The article went on to say, Wayne Tanaka, the executive director of the Sierra Club of Hawaii, said the governor's own nascent policies seemed to undercut his calls for more rigorous planning. Mr. Tanaka criticized an emergency measure that Mr. Green signed shortly before the fire. The move suspended some development restrictions as a way to fast-track the supply of affordable housing. This is a big test of whether he's going to challenge and reverse the trend of allowing corporations to dictate land use policies and monopolize water resources. Still, others fear the pull of politics as usual, noting that the governor's chief of staff, who came with him from the lieutenant governor's office, is a former lobbyist for the pro-development Hawaii Regional Council of Carpenters. Skipping forward, the article touches upon the year 2020, when Josh Green became, quote, the administration's pandemic point man. Eventually, the governor formalized Mr. Green's role as COVID liaison. Armed with a whiteboard and raw data, he reestablished himself as the face of Hawaii's response to the pandemic, pushing mandatory vaccines for public sector employees, indoor travel among the islands. One question that popped up, who just so to be the first non-Hawaiian to lead the police force, who put these people in charge and why do they have so much controversy surrounding them? Okay, getting back.
Man, I don't care what none of y'all say, man. I don't care, man. I don't care what none of y'all say, man. This is messed up. This is messed up. There's no way in hell. Now, if it was the other race, I don't want to get into it, things will be done differently. Things will be done differently, man. Come on, man. These are our people being mistreated. I'm going to continue. Crazy, man.
To it. We know that the guy who refused to sound the sirens, he resigned. And now M. Kaleo Manuel, remember the guy who purposely shut off and delayed the water because he said equity comes first? Well, he's also left his position. According to this New York Times and Post-Millennial article, the equity-obsessed Hawaii official that came under mass scrutiny for delaying the release of water during the deadly Maui fires has been reassigned positions. The West Maui Land Company said in an August 10th letter to Manuel that his commission refused its request to divert streams to fill landowners' reservoirs in the hard-hit Lahaina area until the wildfires raged out of control. Sources told Honolulu Civil Beat that Manuel had asked the company to consult with a local farmer about the impact of water diversion before approving their request. We watched the devastation around us without the ability to help. We anxiously awaited the morning knowing that we could have made more water available to Maui Fire Department if our request had been immediately approved.
If this is true, if he held the water back while these people burned alive, and he thought, well, you need water, but you should appreciate the greater goal of equity, that's despicable. I don't believe it. I can't believe somebody would actually delay water for 5 hours. But then again, we've seen the ideology of equity show up everywhere. So while I understand that you might need water to be safe, there are other people, local farmers, that deserve that water too. If that was actually the conversation, God help that person, because that's just disgusting.
It's only getting more and more bizarre each day in Maui, and now there are very strange reports surrounding FEMA, such as the dumping of supplies into the Lahaina landfill and denying people who are in need.
Yesterday, they were told they could.
Had to pause this real quick. As you can see right here on the screen, this is our sister right here, man. This is our sister right here. Continue. I want y'all to continue to listen to our sister right here. They are being mistreated, man. Y'all come up in here, press that like button. Proceed. Talk, sis.
Could go to the FEMA tent to get food and water. They were told that they could go. I don't know who told them that. When they went to the air-conditioned, enclosed tent and water, morgue operations, Hui, that's down there, which includes retired firemen who came out of retirement to come and help because they have the proper certifications to do that.
Do you think she's lying? Do you think this lady is lying? This is a violation once again, man. Word. All I do is just think about the Black Wall Street. The Black Wall Street. That's what I think about when I think about the situation in Maui. Like I said, this is what the hell's going on in Maui Part 2. Shout out. All credits go to Hustle W.T.H. All right? All credits go to them. But like I said, man, this is wrongdoing to our own people, man. They continuously keep doing this to our people, man. And this is the type of content that I'm trying to share. Come on. I'm gonna say it again. This is the content I'm sharing. And I expect my people to share it also, man, because they shared it to me and I'm sharing it too. But let's go, yo. Word.
That job or turned away because it is a separate funding. So this is where you guys and me come in to take care of our own people, because these entities of Red Cross and FEMA, they're coming to help themselves do the job that they're here for. They're not here to help us do the job that we are trying to do for us. It's like, man, you're fend for yourself. You're part of that department. You have to take care of yourself. You're part of that department. You have to take care of yourself. You're part of FEMA. We're going to take care of ourselves because we're here to help you. That's what it is today.
And then there's this.
It just keeps getting worse here on Maui. FEMA is requiring people whose homes burned to the ground to produce documents that they know.
So our people who lost everything due to the fire. You're asking our people for documents that were burned in the fire. Really? You're asking our people for documents that was burned in the fire. That's some fucked up shit, man. What type of shit are y'all on? This is a violation, man, how they treating our people, man. This is a violation. How you going to ask these people for documents and their cribs burnt down to the ground? This is just stupid, man. Let's get back into it.
No longer have, because their home burned to the ground. They are denying any excuse helping people.
The big story today is FEMA pushing for a full media blackout on Maui. An email sent by FEMA to a nonprofit.
Get every lighters out already, cause here one non-stop fire. Road.
This is Channel of We Rebuilding We, another production by Road, Lock Prod, ML, GGCTV. This is Channel of We Rebuilding We, another production by Road, Lock Prod, ML, GGCTV.
Posting any images or videos while on the ground effective immediately. Here's a look at the letter from the Director of the Office of External Affairs. Out of respect for those who perished, we were asked by Maui County officials to pause on posting on social media and elsewhere new imagery of damage, disaster, debris starting now. They are asking for a full stop on disaster imagery going forward. At this time, we have not been asked to take any photos or video down. Our team on the ground is coordinating with the county for further guidance to ensure we remain fully aligned. Cultural sensitivity is of the utmost importance in all our response and recovery activities to this disaster. Anthony Cabasa said, "The source says they found this to be weird, especially as this was sent when they were aware President Biden would be visiting the island. FEMA has instructed them, at the order of local Maui government, to pause on posting to their socials or elsewhere." Very interesting. Last but not least, in some good news, Nick Sorter said, SpaceX Starlink bringing Hawaii residents back online. I've been on the ground here in Maui for 5 days now, and I can truly attest to the fact that if Elon Musk didn't provide residents with Starlink internet receivers, this area would be a total blackout zone. Regular broadband internet, LTE, and power are still not reconnected. Luckily, residents are able to connect to Starlink stations around Maui and receive free, unlimited, high-speed internet. Many of these people have lost their houses, cars, family members, pets, etc. And the only reason they're able to contact the outside world and their families is via Starlink. It truly helps these victims cope as they feel much less alone. Not to mention the ability Starlink has given first responders to connect with each other while searching the disaster zone for missing people and saving lives. Do not underestimate how beneficial Elon Musk's Starlink was to the people of Lahaina, Hawaii. It has been nothing short of a true blessing for these amazing folks.
Big shout out to Elon Musk. All right. Big shout out to Elon Musk. And shout out to Starlink. You heard? They have that Wi-Fi, y'all, so they can reach their people in states. They have that Wi-Fi, y'all. Just want to give a big shout out to Elon Musk.
That's going to do it for today's video, and I'll continue to provide so much more information coming soon. If you also have any questions, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel so that we can
Get every lighters out already, cause here one non-stop fire. Roll.
This is Channel of Rebuilding We, another production by Roll, Lock, Prod, ML, GGCTV. This is Channel of Rebuilding We, another production by Roll, Lock, Prod, ML, GGCTV.
Get every lighters out already, cause here one non-stop fire. Roll.
This is Channel of Rebuilding We, another production by Roll, Lock, Prod, ML, GG.